Death is not a release. It is a reroll, a spin of a cosmic roulette wheel rigged against the player. He has died before. He remembers Earth's cold, sterile lights, the grief that hollowed him out, the absolute nothingness that followed, only to wake screaming in a frail body in a world that smells of dirt and blood. They call him Lith now, child of a poor farming family in a forgotten village. But behind the wide, innocent eyes hides the mind of a broken man. He does not want to be a hero. He wants only one thing: absolute control over his own existence. The fear of dying again is a cold, quiet terror that never sleeps. The night air is freezing. The forest surrounding the village is utterly silent. He sits cross-legged on the damp earth, miles from the fragile wooden walls of home. He breathes in slow, measured rhythms. He does not move. He does not shiver. Deep inside his chest, something burns. It is his mana core. Right now, his core glows with a dull, muddy red light in his mind's eye. Red is the color of the weak. Red is the color of prey. He refuses to remain prey. He pushes his awareness inward, forcing raw energy from the atmosphere into his body. The process is agony, like swallowing glass. A voice echoes in the absolute center of his mind. It is clear, emotionless, yet strangely warm. Solus, a sentient magic tower core bound to his soul, currently resting as a simple stone pendant against his collarbone. She does not speak with sound. She speaks with pure thought across his consciousness. She tells him his mana flow is fluctuating by 3%. She calculates the strain on his cardiovascular system. He adjusts his breathing. He tightens his grip on the flow. The pain sharpens. Black sludge begins to seep from his pores. It smells of rot and burnt iron, the impurity of the mortal vessel. His muscles become denser. His bones harden. His mana core expands, inching painfully toward a brighter hue. He treats his body like a sword on an anvil, hammering the weakness out. He does not stop until he vomits black bile onto the grass. He collapses, gasping. The muddy red flashes, stabilizes closer to orange. The morning sun brings the illusion of peace. The village wakes to roosters and chopping wood. He walks the dirt roads with the careful measured steps of a predator mimicking a herbivore. His expression is blank, his clothes ragged. The villagers see only a quiet, strange child. They do not see the pathways glowing beneath his skin. He arrives at a sturdy wooden house on the edge of the settlement. The scent of dried herbs and ozone hangs heavy. This is the domain of Nana, the village healer, a former battle mage, the only person within 50 miles who understands what real power looks like. He enters without knocking. Nana sits by the hearth, weathered face lined with decades of violence and regret. She watches him enter. She does not smile. In this room, they drop the pretenses. She is the master, he is the disciple. Their dynamic is not born of affection, it is a transaction of survival. He begins his daily exercises. He forms hand seals. He chants ancient words. A small sphere of water coalesces in the palm of his hand. It is perfect. It is flawless. But he feels nothing but disgust. He extinguishes the water with a thought. The chanting, the hand signs, the magic words, it is all a lie. The incantations do not create the magic. They are training wheels, psychological crutches, forcing the caster's mind into the right shape. The Mage Association, the nobles, the ruling class, they teach this fake magic to the masses. They keep the true mechanics of mana a secret. They gatekeep reality itself. He looks at Nana. He knows she understands the lie. She knows how to manipulate mana silently, directly from the core, true magic, but she refuses to teach him. The laws of the kingdom are absolute. Anyone caught teaching true magic outside approved academies is executed. Their families executed, their villages burned. He does not ask her to teach him. He does not need her to. He has Solus, he has his memories, he is reverse engineering the universe on his own. He forms another sphere of water. This time his hands remain at his sides. His lips do not move. The water simply appears. Nana's eyes narrow. The temperature in the room drops. She feels the mana fluctuation. She knows what he just did. For a long second, the air is thick with killing intent. If she reports him, she lives. If she hides it, she risks the pyre. He maintains eye contact. He does not flinch. He lets the water drop to the floor, soaking the wooden boards. The tension breaks. Nana sighs, suddenly looking 100 years old. She tells him he is a monster. She tells him his arrogance will get him butchered by the association. He turns toward the door. He tells her weakness is the only crime. He walks out into the sunlight. He has pushed a boundary today, but he needed to test her loyalty. He needed to know if the old woman would sell him out to the nobles. She didn't. She is an accessory now. Her silence binds her to his fate. Every relationship is a calculated risk. The spring festival arrives with a burst of color and noise that grates on his nerves. The village square fills with merchants, farmers, traveling, performers, roasted meat, and cheap ale mask, the usual scent of manure. He stands near the edge of the crowd, keeping his family in his peripheral vision. Solus hums in his mind. Ricker Trahan steps into the square. Son of the headman, built like an ox, with a cruel mouth and the arrogant swagger of a local tyrant. He has a sliver of magical talent, just enough to bully farmers. He travels with 3 lackeys, heavy-handed boys eager for violence. They take what they want. Ricker's eyes scan the crowd and lock onto the young man's older sister. She is teenage presenting, pretty, completely defenseless. He smiles, a slow, ugly thing. He alters course. Lackeys fanning out behind him. The atmosphere shifts. Laughter dies. The villagers look away. No one wants to attract the predator's attention. He watches the trajectory. He calculates the distance. He calculates the weight of footsteps. He calculates the exact force required to shatter a kneecap. Solus whispers the tensile strength of bones. He does not move yet. He waits for the provocation to be undeniable. The aggressor steps into the sister's path. He moves. He does not run. He glides. He uses a sliver of wind magic to silence his footsteps and accelerate his mass. He covers the distance in a fraction of a second. He inserts himself exactly between the outstretched hand and his sister's face. The aggressor blinks in surprise. The aggressor sneers and tells the freak to get out of the way. He raises his hand to strike across the face. The young man does not block. He does not dodge. He shifts his weight. He channels a microscopic thread of dark mana into his own shoulder, increasing his physical density to that of solid iron. The hand connects. A sickening crack echoes through the sudden silence of the square. It is not the boy's face that breaks. It is the aggressor's wrist. The man screams, stumbling backward, clutching his mangled hand. His face goes pale with shock. The lackeys freeze, unable to process what just happened. He stands perfectly still. He looks at the writhing aggressor with eyes that hold the cold, empty depth of a deep space vacuum. He speaks loud enough for the crowd to hear. He says it was an accident. He says the man tripped and fell against him. It is a blatant lie, everyone knows. The lackeys snap out of stupor and reach for belt knives. The situation is about to escalate from local bullying to a blood feud. The father sprints across the square, shouting. The healer watches narrow-eyed from her clinic door. He assesses the board. If he kills them here, the Inquisition will follow. He lets a drop of blood roll from his nose. He forces his breathing rapid and shallow. He makes himself look small. He looks at the lackeys and steps back, raising his hands in apparent terror. They hesitate. Striking a terrified boy in front of the charging father crosses a line. The father arrives, pulling him behind, massive fists clenched. The crowd murmurs. The headman pushes through, face purple with rage. He sees his son. He sees the poor farmer. He demands blood. But dozens of witnesses saw the aggressor attack first. The headman cannot execute a child without sparking a riot. He orders his men to carry his son away. He looks at the father. He promises ruin. He promises starvation. The festival resumes, but the joy is dead. The shadow of the headman's wrath hangs over the village. That night, the house is tense. The family eats in silence, terrified. They talk of moving. They talk of fleeing into the wilderness. He eats porridge mechanically, listening to their panic, feeling cold detachment. They are weak. They believe they are at the mercy of the system. He stands up, says he is going to collect firewood. His mother warns him of danger. He simply opens the door and walks into the darkness. The forest welcomes him like an old friend. The shadows wrap around him. Solus expands her sensory range. She maps the woods for miles. She finds them. 3 signatures, dim, angry, filled with cheap alcohol and bruised egos. The lackeys wait near the edge of his family's fields with torches and pitchforks, planning to burn the crops. A classic intimidation tactic. He walks toward them, not using paths, moving through underbrush without sound. He manipulates the earth beneath his feet to soften steps. He bends light around himself. He stops 20 yards away. They are laughing, joking about what they will do to his sister once the family is destitute. He listens. He feels no anger. Anger is hot. Anger makes you sloppy. He feels only the cold, calculating need to excise a tumor. They cannot leave this forest. He cannot use fire. Fire leaves traces. He cannot use blades. The wounds would point to a weapon. He needs a method that looks like an accident, a wild animal attack, a tragic misstep in the dark. He focuses his mana. His core spins solidly orange now, pulsing with heavy density. He bypasses vocal components. He bypasses somatic gestures. He shapes mana directly with his will. He targets the earth beneath the largest lackey. The soil softens. It turns into deep, viscous mud in the space of a heartbeat. The lackey sinks up to his knees before he realizes what is happening. He shifts focus. He manipulates the water vapor in the air, condensing it instantly around the second lackey's head. It forms a perfect, airtight sphere of water. The man inhales violently, sucking water directly into his lungs. He falls to his knees, clawing at his own throat, drowning in a dry forest. The third lackey screams, draws his knife, swings blindly at the darkness. He realizes they are under attack by a mage. He turns to run. He does not let him. He extends a hand. An invisible whip of compressed air lashes out, wraps around the fleeing ankle, jerks him backward. He steps out of the shadows. The moonlight catches his slim frame. He looks like a ghost. The man in the mud is struggling. The man in the water sphere is convulsing. The third stares up at him, eyes wide with primal terror. He tries to beg. He tries to offer money. He tilts his head. He speaks directly into the man's mind using spirit magic. The voice is not a child's. It is the voice of a cosmic predator. It tells him this is the price of arrogance. It tells him his existence is an error being corrected. He steps forward. He places a small, cold hand on the man's chest. He pushes a spike of raw, unshaped mana directly into the man's heart. It is a surgical strike. The heart muscle spasms and stops instantly. Massive cardiac arrest. No external wounds. No magical residue a low-level investigator could trace. He turns to the man in the mud. He releases the water sphere around the second man's head. The second man is already dead, lungs full of water. He will look like he fell face first into a puddle while drunk. He walks to the first man. The mud has hardened into solid earth. The man is sobbing. He has soiled himself. He looks at the youth not as a child, but as a demon crawling out of hell. He does not say a word. He manipulates the earth one last time, tightening the soil around the man's legs until the bones snap. He chokes him with dirt. The forest is quiet again. The smell of alcohol and fear fades into the damp earth. He stands among the corpses. He feels his core throb. The intense, concentrated, silent casting has triggered another impurity expulsion. Pain rips through him. He falls to his knees, coughing up black blood. The sludge seeps from his skin. Solus whispers warnings about his physical limits. He ignores her. He breathes through the agony. He feels the orange core flash brilliantly, burning away the edges of weakness. It settles into a deep, solid hue, hinting at the faintest edges of yellow. He is growing stronger. He cleans himself with water magic. He strips the bodies of valuables to make it look like a bandit attack gone wrong. He scatters torches. He erases his own footprints, restoring underbrush. He leaves the scene spotless. A tragedy of the wilderness. He walks back toward the farm. The stars overhead are cold and distant. They offer no judgment. In this world, there is no karma, no divine justice. There is only the eater and the eaten. He looks at his hands. They are small, they are clean, but they are soaked in the invisible blood of a reality he refuses to bow to. He opens the door to his home. The hinges do not creak. His mother is asleep by the fire, exhausted by worry. His father is pacing in the back room. He steps inside. He allows his posture to slump. He widens his eyes slightly. He becomes the fragile, quiet child again. He tells his father he got lost in the dark but found his way back. His father hugs him, crushing him against his chest, weeping with relief. He rests his head against his father's shoulder. He stares blankly at the wall over the man's back. He will protect this fragile illusion of family. Winter falls on the village like an executioner's blade. The cold is absolute. Fields freeze into jagged sheets of gray earth. The forest becomes a skeleton of black wood and white snow. Inside the farmhouse, the family huddles around the hearth, counting dried meat, rationing firewood. They pray for the thaw. He does not pray. He studies. He sits in the darkest corner, far from the fire, heavy, leather-bound tomes resting on his knees. The books he extorted from Nana are not mere ink and paper. They are written in crushed mana crystals, pages cured beast skin. They thrum with residual energy. He reads in the dead of night using a microscopic thread of fire magic. Solus translates archaic dialects directly into his mind. The revelations are staggering. The noble class has engineered a continent-wide scam. The fake magic taught to commoners is deliberately flawed, designed to keep peasants weak. He memorizes every chant and every hand sign. He learns to speak the language of slaves perfectly, but in his mind he strips spells down to raw mathematical equations. He learns to replicate Tier 3 magic with a fraction of the cost. He is building an arsenal in silence. He needs money to travel. He needs a pristine record to enter the academy without suspicion. He begins to hunt in earnest. The deep winter makes magical beasts desperate. They push closer to settlements. He meets them in the snow. He becomes a phantom in the frozen woods. He kills a razor boar by freezing the moisture in its lungs. He kills a shadow cat by manipulating the air pressure in its inner ear. He harvests cores. He skins beasts with surgical precision. He hides spoils beneath the floorboards of the barn. He hoards a fortune the village could not imagine. The routine is perfect. The progression is steady until the anomaly occurs. It is a Tuesday evening. Snow falls thick and heavy, erasing the horizon. He is returning from the forest. Solus shrieks in his mind. A massive mana signature has crossed her sensory threshold. It moves fast. It moves erratically. 3 miles behind the beast, pursuing it, are 5 distinct mana signatures. They are organized. They are riding magical beasts of their own, nobles, a hunting party from the inner territories. They have driven the corrupted beast out of its habitat. Their tracking artifacts wash the forest like radar. The corrupted wolf bursts through the tree line a quarter mile from the farm. It is a nightmare of matted black fur and glowing toxic green veins. Its eyes are blind with madness and pain. It crashes through a wooden fence. It is heading for the livestock. It is heading for the farmhouse where his mother and siblings sleep. He calculates the variables. If he uses true magic, the noble's divination artifacts will record a yellow core anomaly. The Inquisition will arrive before morning. He will be taken. He will be dissected. If he does nothing, his family will be torn apart in seconds. He has 3 seconds to decide. He chooses the hardest path. He will kill a green core beast in plain sight of the tracking artifacts using only fake magic available to a talented commoner. He must handicap his own existence. He bursts from the snowdrift, forcing his mana core to dim, projecting a chaotic, unstable orange aura instead. He sprints across the frozen field. He does not use true magic to enhance his speed. He uses his own legs, lungs burning with cold. He screams the incantation for a Tier 1 light spell. He needs the beast to look at him. He needs the radar to record a panicked child. A flare of blinding white light bursts from his palm. The beast skids in the snow, its massive head snapping toward the flash. It roars, a sound that vibrates teeth. It abandons the farmhouse. It charges him. The ground shakes. He stands his ground. He watches a ton of muscle and corruption barreling at 60 miles an hour. He begins chanting the next spell. He speaks the words loudly, enunciating every syllable flawlessly. He waits until the beast is 20 yards away. He slams his hands onto the frozen earth. He triggers a Tier 2 earth spell, but he aims for the patch of ice beneath the front left paw. A jagged pillar of rock erupts at 45 degrees. The beast's massive paw strikes at full velocity. The sound of shattering bone is deafening. Its leg snaps backward. The enormous wolf tumbles forward, crashing into the snow in a chaotic tangle of limbs, tearing a trench in the frozen earth. He does not pause. He knows a broken leg will not stop a green core beast for more than 3 seconds. He is already running, circling to the beast's blind spot. He chants again. He weaves a Tier 2 water spell. He draws moisture from the falling snow. A spear of jagged ice forms above him. The beast scrambles upright on 3 legs. He does not throw the spear at the armored skull. He throws it at the spot where the heavy winter coat has been torn open by the fall, exposing softer skin beneath the ribcage. The ice spear strikes true. It buries itself deep in the flank. He uses a microscopic fraction of true magic, just enough to escape detection, a whisper of thermal manipulation. He forces the ice spear to expand inside the wound. The ice splinters into 1,000 needles, shredding internal organs. The beast thrashes wildly. Its mouth opens. Boiling green acid erupts in a wide arc. He throws himself backward, chanting a basic air shield. The shield is weak. It shatters instantly. A few drops of acid splash across his left shoulder. The pain is absolute. It burns through his winter coat, searing his flesh. He bites his lip so hard it bleeds, refusing to break the illusion of a struggling novice. The beast is dying but refuses to fall. It limps toward him, jaws snapping. He is exhausted. Suppressing his core while fighting takes 10 times the energy. His vision blurs. Solus warns him the nobles are less than a mile away. The fight must end now and look perfectly, tragically heroic. He stands up. He lets his left arm hang limp. He stares at the approaching monster. He begins the chant for a Tier 3 spell. It is a spell a young commoner should not have the capacity to cast. But in life or death, a prodigy might break their own limits. That is the narrative he is writing. He raises his right hand. He targets the open bleeding wound in the beast's side. Lightning bolt. A jagged arc of blue electricity tears through the falling snow. It strikes the ice, spear still lodged inside the beast. Water and ice are excellent conductors. The electricity surges directly into the shredded heart. The beast stiffens. Its eyes roll back. The massive green core inside its chest stutters, misfires, and goes dark. The beast collapses, dead, before it hits the frozen earth. He drops to his knees in the snow. He forces his breathing shallow and panicked. He makes the acid burn highly visible. Less than 30 seconds later, the tree line explodes. 5 armored figures ride out of the forest on scaled raptor mounts. They wear crimson and gold cloaks of the Marquis's royal guard. Tracking artifacts hum on their wrists. They pull mounts to a halt, snow churning beneath heavy claws. The leader is a tall man with aristocratic features and eyes cold enough to freeze water. He is a court mage, a blue core elite. He looks at the corpse of the corrupted wolf. He looks at the trench in the snow. He looks at the small youth kneeling in the blood-stained dirt, clutching a burned shoulder.
We've reached the end of part 1. If you made it this far and enjoyed the story, go ahead and leave your like to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe so we can reach our goal of the first 1,000 subscribers. Comment part 2 below so I can bring you the continuation. If we get more than 10 comments, I'll release the next part for you all. See you in the next video.